In the wake of the heightened tensions between US and Iran, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has said that Iran is not interested in waging a war against any other country. In a speech that was broadcast live on state TV, Rouhani said, and I quote him over here, "Iran will not wage a war against any nation. Those facing us are a group of politicians with little experience," unquote. This comes after the US said it's preparing to send additional troops to West Asia. This move is in response to the mounting concerns over Iran. At least 1,000 more US troops are being deployed in the Gulf as we speak. Acting US Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan said that the deployment is for quote-unquote defensive purposes. This would be in addition to the 1,500 US troops. Their deployment was announced last month. Remember, Washington has blamed Iran for the attacks on oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman last week. The US has also released new pictures to back its claim. The US says that some of the images show the remnants of an unexploded mine on a Japanese-owned tanker. The photos also show members of Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps removing the mine. One of the photos claimed to show a Revolutionary Guard Corps vessel. US said that the photo was taken shortly after Iran's armed forces removed the mine. This comes after US released a video claiming that Iran's Revolutionary Guards were behind the attacks near the Strait of Hormuz. US has repeatedly said that it is concerned about the threat to its forces and interests in the Gulf. Patrick Shanahan said, and I quote, "The recent Iranian attacks validate the reliable, credible intelligence we have received on hostile behavior by Iranian forces and their proxy groups that threaten US personnel and interests across the region." Tehran has denied all these allegations as baseless. We have our West Asia Bureau Chief Daniela Pagani now joining us live here on WION Dispatch for more. Daniela, talk to us. The US is relentlessly mounting pressure, but if you see the commentary coming in from Iran, it's rather layered.
Definitely, yes. The reaction that Iran has had as of now has been very much layered. They've tried to do a very, so to say, phase-stepped approach. They have tried in the beginning to wait 1 year to see if it was possible to find a dialogue, to find some sort of possible dialogue between the United States and Tehran. That didn't happen. On the other hand, American pressure has been mounting and mounting and mounting relentlessly, and now this news that we have about 1,000 additional troops is a worrying news. Let's be clear, 1,000 additional troops is more of a message than an actual threat. That is way less than what any country might need to actually wage war against a country like Iran. But still, it's 1,000 more American troops, which in addition to the 1,500 pledged a month, more or less a month ago, makes 2,500 more American troops, and solely with the purpose of defending and watching Iranians' actions. So these might irritate Tehran very much. And remember that Tehran has many leverages, can exercise also pressure in West Asia against America.
Daniela, stay with us, because if the US is announcing its intention to send more troops in an announcement that is escalating tensions with Washington, Iran has said that it would breach the internationally agreed curbs on its stock of low-enriched uranium within 10 days, but added that European nations still had time to save the landmark nuclear deal. In a sign of concern at Iran's announcement, Germany urged Tehran to meet all its obligations under the 2015 accord. Britain said if Iran breaches limits agreed under the deal, then London would look at, quote-unquote, all options. Close US ally Israel, Iran's arch-foe, urged world powers to step up sanctions against Tehran swiftly should it exceed the enriched uranium limit.
عرض شود که تولید رو مجدداً در روزهای اخیر افزایش دادیم به نحوی که امروز به شما بگیم شمارش معکوس شروع شده. یعنی اگر شمارش معکوس رو ما از 10 شروع کنیم، از امروز به مدت 10 روز ما در روز دهم که میشه 27 ژوئن ششم تیر ماه ما از سقف 300 کیلو عبور خواهیم کرد.
Tehran stopped complying with some elements of the nuclear agreement called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA, after the US unilaterally pulled out of the deal last year. Now, under the deal, Iran had agreed to limit its nuclear activities in exchange for the lifting of international sanctions. Iran has repeatedly criticized delays in setting up a European mechanism that would shield trade with Iran from U.S. sanctions. Daniela, clearly Iran is trying to look at a world without the U.S., but the problem here is that it's not exactly like the European Union is looking to play ball with Iran.
The problem is that the weaponization of the American economy is working very well even nowadays. There is no doubt that the American financial market is the largest in the world, and it is very, very unlikely that any country, in particular countries belonging to the European Union, will abandon Washington and therefore the U.S. Financial market in order to deal and to make business with Iran. So it is very much a wall-to-wall situation. On the one hand, we have Iran saying that they will stop any nuclear and any uranium enrichment if the world clears the sanctions against them. On the other hand, we have Donald Trump and the Americans, who are the ones implementing the sanctions, saying that they will only clear the sanctions if Iran stops producing uranium. So this is very much a wall-to-wall situation, and as of now, there is no country, no entity, no organization that has been capable of finding a possible mediation. And Iran has just begun to step up the pressure. Remember, there is much more they can do. They're well entrenched in Syria, in Yemen, in Iraq. They can use the leverage of Hezbollah in Lebanon. They have a wide presence, and they can disrupt a lot the balance here in West Asia if they are willing to.